So we're shooting that scene. Everyone's wearing Arctic parkas. I'm there on the set wearing my fucking parka. I'm like freezing. And I look over and I see Thor, bare-chested, bare legs, in his little cape, in his metal fucking bikini. And he's like, he's like kind of shivering a little bit. And I look at John, my stepfather. I'm like, John, isn't he like cold? And John looks over at him, and he walks over to Thor, and he goes, whoop, and he pinches his nipple. Oh my God. And he turns back to me and says, "Yep, he's cold."
Hello and welcome to the 21st episode of Good, Bad, or Bad Bad, the show where we watch terrible movies and tell you if you should too. I am your host, Mr. Brian Shilligo. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Kyle Hinton.
I'm captain now.
Look at me. I am the captain. Today, we watched a fan-recommended movie because he's fucking in it. We watched Rock and Roll Nightmare. I had never heard of this film. Holy cow. This is something else. It's a trip.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada. One of the girlfriends at one point says, "I'm sorry."
Lynn, you scared me.
I'm sorry.
I was like, "Oh, that's right. This is Canada." Like, I'm sorry. I wasn't ready for that. It caught me off guard. And I was like, "Ah, yeah, Canada." That's right, because they're like in Toronto or outside or something like that.
Something like that.
So this movie is strange. The way we found this movie was not one. The only way we found it was one of our fans, New Rule Media in the YouTube comments, I believe. Jesse D'Angelo, he's an actor, was in this movie. Jesse D'Angelo, this guy right here. Him, Jesse. Say hi, Jesse. He's in the movie. His stepfather was the director, John Fasano, right? And his mother was a producer on the film. And if you want to have anything you want to chime in on it.
I know. I watched so the guy who wrote this is the muscle-clad Adonis.
Yes.
That is John Milk Thor. Okay, so the guy, I think he grew up in the Vancouver area as he basically started off as a bodybuilder and became Mr. Canada.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
And he's a
hell of an actor.
It's in this documentary, I Am Thor. Watch it. It's pretty insane. And this is the guy who quit is not in his vocabulary.
No, that's what I've heard from the trailer I saw.
He is the Tom Brady of Canadian bodybuilders.
So the movie, though, it's called Rock and Roll Nightmare or The Edge of Hell. Sorry.
God, I'm dying.
What it seemed like to me was like, it's about a band. The movie's about a band to get into it called Triton. And I think it's a real band, or was a real band at the time.
His band was just called Thor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so on the credits it says like music by the Tritons.
Yeah.
And that's just Thor.
Oh, okay.
That's just him and his band, but for some reason they changed the name of it for the credits.
And to me this sort of seemed like, hey, it'll be fun. Let's go rent a house in the middle of nowhere for a weekend or a couple weeks. We'll go party and we'll make a movie that'll promote our band and it'll be wacky and fun. We'll have sex and, it'll be awesome. And my favorite thing about this movie, as I was watching it, I could just tell, I know how much fun they probably had making this movie. You know what I mean? There's something really sweet about this movie in the sense that it's not like some cynical thing. No, it's just these guys.
This is earnest.
Yeah.
This is like the kind of fun.
Yeah.
Not like friend filmmaking, but
kind
of community filmmaking type thing.
Because what it felt like to me, it reminded me a lot of the kind of on a grander, better scale of the movies me and my friends made in high school with my parents' camera, where you're just kind of making it up, but it's fun and you're having a blast and it's silly and there's fucking alien dick monsters and whatever. It's nonsense. But it's awesome nonsense, and I bet it was a fucking blast to make. I would almost guarantee just watching it. I kind of love that about the movie.
Absolutely, and I think that was pretty much the conversation of what kind of movie should we make? Well, let's just have fun, and there'll be like monsters and rock and roll and tits, and then we'll repeat that. And
Yeah.
So
that was pretty much the conversation.
So the movie leads off with a setup scene
boy.
to establish what's going on, which I say establish what's going on. I never explained any of this, but we don't know anything about this monster. But anyway, so it's a family wakes up on a morning in this house, kind of in the like farmland house, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And the mom's making breakfast is like how it starts. And then we cut to she yells upstairs.
Second floor brigade, breakfast is almost ready.
To wake up the star. Well, and actually that was one of the first notes I had is that during the credits, our friend Jesse D'Angelo gets his own introducing
Which is, you know, they always do that when they're like, look, I found the next who's a good like kid, I guess like Timothy Hutton would be a good example.
But then so the mom's making breakfast and she yells up, before any of this, the Synapse logo was terrifying. Like the film production company logo that pops up was horrifying.
God.
It's like this weird alien, just like a human face brain thing. I don't know, I was like, whoa, this is scarier than anything in the movie probably. But so the mom calls upstairs, said breakfast is almost ready. And then we meet Jesse from upstairs. Yells
Greatest
back. Greatest line
ever.
Maybe ever.
Okay, Mom, don't scramble the eggs without me.
Is that a thing that... I don't ever remember when I was a kid being like, man, I can't wait to get downstairs and scramble the eggs. I can't wait. Like, that's not... I don't know. I just thought that was so random and silly. Don't scramble the eggs without me. But he crushes the delivery.
And, like, who knows? Maybe my character is just like, he's gung-ho about cooking. Like, he wants to learn how to make great scrambled eggs.
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then Zool is in the fridge.
Yes.
Like,
okay.
Fucking Zool is in the fridge.
I thought this movie was initially Haunted Appliances.
Yeah, right. That's what it starts as. You don't know. Well, and it never really decides what it is monster-wise. It's just sort of whatever it wants to be. But it starts with a like Zool, literally Zool in the fridge. I was like, is this pre or post Ghostbusters? Because either they're ripping off Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters.
Oh, it's definitely post.
Is it?
This is 87.
Okay, I forgot what
I guess
year it was.
86.
Yeah, so it is post. Because that was very Zool in the refrigerator type moment. And then she opens the oven. And a fucking skeleton beast.
That's the dad. Yeah.
Oh, the dad. Yes, because the mom gets sucked into the refrigerator, right, or something like that. I don't know.
And then Jesse has a great reaction.
Yes. So then his dad gets eaten by the skeleton in the oven, and Jesse comes downstairs. I don't even remember how he says it, but he says, "Mommy, Daddy, ah!" or something like that.
And then there's, of course, the one that, like, I get grief about for my entire life. Mommy, Daddy, ah!
We compared that thing to Troll 2.
Yeah.
They're eating her.
Yeah, they're eating her.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
But he crushes that delivery.
Oh yeah, no, he killed it.
He kills it. And then we cut to the actual credits, like the, Edge of Hell credit comes in.
Okay, I need to know what kind of rigging they had for all those intro shots of moving the camera around.
Oh,
as boring as that is cinematically, no offense.
I hate it.
From a technical perspective,
No,
it was
really?
insanely impressive.
To me, what it looked like to me, because I think I actually had a note of this, like somebody just had a camera and was running around with it by the ground.
Well, yeah,
I could be wrong.
but this is
Yeah, that was pretty effective. I think that was just the DP at the time. Like, they didn't even tell him to shoot it. They were just like, get some footage of the house. And so he just took the camera and just put it down low and started like running around with it.
I imagine this was probably shot on film.
Oh yeah, I guarantee it was shot on film. Yeah,
I mean, you know how heavy a film
that's
camera
true.
is.
I don't know. Yeah,
And they were moving that like 3 inches above the ground, all around the place. They were moving it through objects.
And I was like, that's right. I wrote this ground level demon camera thing is making me nauseous. I don't know, because it lasts a long time, and that's when the credits start. And this also, again, it's another movie that makes me glad that films have gotten away from doing the entire credits at the beginning of the film, where it's like, oh my god, when we gotta watch 3 minutes of credits. So after the demon cam, we get the van.
80s van.
Oh,
Holy crap.
Yes. giant red and white behemoth. And so the first 10 minutes of this movie, 90% of it is a van driving.
It's true. Yeah.
Legitimately,
It's
so much of the van.
it's literally the Canadian A-Team van.
Yeah. And so Thor's driving it. But it happens at least twice in this opening sequence of the van driving where we're on the shot is from the horizon and you see the van on the horizon and I'm like, oh, so help me God if we watch that van drive all the way from the horizon to the camera.
Bet your ass we do.
You bet your ass we're watching that van drive the whole way. And it happens like twice. And I was like, oh my God. When I first started watching this, I'm like 15 minutes into the movie. I'm like, 14 of the first 15 minutes are a van driving down the
I knew you would bring that up, so I actually timed it. It's literally like 4.5 minutes.
Oh my God, it's so much.
No exaggeration. It's like 4.5 minutes of that. Oh my God.
All right.
Did you see the
fine.
license plate on it?
Yeah, I can't remember what it said though.
Ducker?
Yeah. I don't know what that is. Is that like must be an inside joke probably.
Somebody inform us on that.
Yeah, Jesse might know.
Ducker?
Ducker,
right?
is that a thing?
What does that
Do you have
mean?
any input on what that license plate meant? At all?
Yeah. And by the way, to anybody who's interested, this movie's available on iTunes. It's also available on DVD. And if you want more input than what I'm telling you, there's a great commentary track on the DVD with John Fasano and John Michael Thor.
Nice.
Obviously, I only remember so much because I was 8 years old, but they go a lot more into the details. But I believe the Ducker thing was just like they just needed a van, and so they borrowed this guy's van, and the license plate was just Ducker.
There you go. This is my first. I really appreciated this. So I thought what this was gonna be because I didn't know anything about the story, other than there's like monsters. Obviously, I thought when Thor got out of the van at the beginning, like the van pulls up to the house, and I'm like, oh shit! Is he like gonna be like a demon hunter? Is it like that was my first thought because I was like, oh,
You thought he was Bon Jovi.
I thought he was Van Helsing.
Oh shit!
Because he's driving a van, and he's the lead singer of the band. Van Helsing. I was like, it's perfect. But no, he's not. He's something even better, which we'll get to at the end of this movie.
Okay, let's get to the characters.
Yes. This is where we meet everybody.
The band manager.
Oh my gosh.
He is so Jeremy Piven from Say Anything.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah,
just take an
hat.
Image of Jeremy Piven from Say Anything and him.
Yeah, the little hat and the earrings and everything. He's fucking great. He's actually my favorite. One of my favorite scenes. It might be my favorite scene, which I actually thought was genuinely like funny and was trying to be, was when they first show up to the house and the manager goes to talk to like the groundskeeper or whatever, who disappears and is never in the movie again. But the groundskeeper shows up and he's got like trying to get the keys from him, and they're back and forth for like it's like a 3-minute long scene of him going like, "Can I get the keys?" And the guy's like, blah blah blah.
That recording company, RCS, A, right? They came here with Alice Cooper. Yeah, and they built a recording studio up there, 24-track.
For the keys, I'd like to have.
Yeah, I have the keys here. Good.
Then there's the is he the bassist or
there's a bass player,
the guy who's like
who just got married.
He's
Oh no, that's the
Australian.
drummer.
That's the drummer. Right?
Hey, really, mate? What are we supposed to do here?
Right.
Don't even that accent.
Like, okay, so for the purposes
accent
of the film, he's Australian.
He is.
But the actor is clearly not.
It is the most. I was like, okay, he's supposed to be Australian. That's not an Australian accent. It's like kind of like, oi, mate, oi.
Well, then they subvert that later on.
And it just goes away. But it's like because I guess when he becomes possessed.
Yeah,
or
well,
something.
he makes a statement. I'm a changed man.
Yeah, and it's like in normal English. Yeah, but it's like it's
I love it. You say normal English.
Normal English. Us normies speaking. Not you weirdo fucking Australians with your made up English.
Well, everyone, our entire Australian fan base.
All 4 of them are super mad right now. Go punch a kangaroo and get the fuck over it.
Friggin' great. But why Canada?
But okay, and then Thor's the lead singer. flowing blonde locks, muscle bound.
Always about ready to rip out of
Yeah,
whatever shirt he's in.
Stig is the drummer, the Australian. The bass player is the guy that just got married, I think.
Yes.
And his wife's there, and they're on their honeymoon, basically. And then and he's kind of blonde. And then the guitar player is a
Flock
blonde
of
guy.
Seagulls.
Flock of Seagulls.
We're gonna call him Flock of Seagulls. I don't know his real
yeah.
character name.
He's the lead guitarist, and he's like one of the groupies there is into him, and that becomes a thing.
No, she's a keyboardist.
Oh, right, it's the keyboard. Yeah, you're right. And then the keyboardist.
It's the keyboardist whose tits are just rocketing out of her spandex.
She always
all the
is
time.
wearing spandex leotards, and it's just high beams the whole movie. Like, it's crazy. So they get to this house, and the reason that they're this house, and they never established how long this is since the first scene where the family disappeared. We don't know if it's like a week later or 5 years later. I assume it's, pretty soon after from something that happens later in the movie. Or it's not, because at the end of this movie, throws a monkey wrench in everything to me trying to figure out this movie. So they show up at this house that was the one from the beginning where the family disappeared, and they're there to record their new album because there's a sweet badass studio in the barn for some reason.
What did you think of that dope Vertigo shot they did of the house?
Yeah.
What was that all about?
I don't know.
That was just a weird,
creepy.
weird choice. Yeah.
It's so creepy. Oh my god, and later in the movie there's the most blatant fucking Halloween music ripoff towards the end. It's like they took it and transposed it up like a key and but it's like note for note like the fucking Halloween thing. Yeah, and this might be so they're at this house to record. They all go in the house, hang out. When they're right after they get there, this happens a lot in this movie where it's like everybody walks into the house and it's like a big wide shot from up, and everybody walks into the house and then the shot just hangs there for like an extra 15 seconds, and I'm like, anything relevant is done happening. You can cut away now. It's like
you gotta pad out the time.
I know. It's like we don't need to they did enough with that fucking driving montage. And then so this is where I was starting getting like, what the fuck is going on with this drummer's accent? It is it can't even do justice how not good of an Australian accent it is.
I'd like to propose a toast to Phil, who came up with this wonderful dinner for us tonight.
It's fucking atrocious. Stig, that character, I have a lot of questions about him in general.
Oh, I have answers about Stig. Stig, played by my uncle, Jim Sorrell.
Boy.
Yeah, so I could say all about Stig. All right.
I was expecting Crocky and Shrill the Body.
That's what crikey, mate. Let's go some drumming. Yeah. It's like, I don't even know. It's like this weird mix between Liverpool punk and Australian.
Paul Hogan.
Yeah, it's very strange.
He probably didn't even come down here. Let's check upstairs.
That Australian accent is the best thing.
Oh, it's glorious.
Okay, so they're eating dinner is the next part. They're hanging out, they're eating dinner before they're gonna go play. They're all sitting around a coffee table eating dinner, which is fun. And this is, I think, the first time we get the Coke product placement.
Oh my god. Brian and I were pretty convinced that Coca-Cola was your guys' sponsor. Is that true?
Is there a sponsorship?
Why would you ever think that?
I love in that last scene.
Placement was so subtle.
It gets so blatant. But
let's talk about who the product placements in this. There is Coke.
SOS.
There is Crush.
Yeah. SOS Cleaner.
SOS
Cleaner behind him all the time on the shelf. The Coke is the one I saw the most of. There's a scene later in the movie where fucking Thor walks in with one, and then he sets it down and turns the label to the camera. I'm not kidding. Unapologetically, he's like scratch, just so that you can see the Coke. And I was like, okay. He sets it down and then carefully turns it to camera, just and it's just the best.
My favorite part of that, it comes before even that. It was in the part where he opens the fridge and there's the demon chicken.
Yeah.
He's about to leave, but he goes, Coke. Gotta have Coke. to them like I'm gonna talk to myself.
Coca-Cola.
Gotta have a Coke.
Nice. It's like Michael Bay Transformers level of product placement.
Insurance? It's a freaking spaceship. You go get insurance on a freaking spaceship. Good luck with that, buddy. Is your car? Huh? Sweetie, hand me my alien gun.
Okay, so then they eat dinner, and then right after that, then they're dancing, drying dishes, and it's like the whitest dancing. They're all awful, and they have no rhythm. These girls, as they're dancing, doing dishes, really annoyed the shit out of me. The band.
But wait, hang on.
Yeah,
hang
no,
on.
sorry. Yeah.
A thing about them drying the dishes. The keyboardist is in the band.
Yeah.
And they relegate her
Yeah.
to.
You gotta go wash. Jesus Christ. Eventually, she's like, "Hey, I gotta go play," and
Yeah.
she does leave. But yeah, it's like they're all starting to practice already, and she's gotta be in there fucking drying dishes. I'm like, okay, great. And then so they start practicing, and it cuts into the barn, and they're playing, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna watch a whole song.
Oh, you bet your ass we are.
It's not the only time this happens, but I'm like, oh, we're gonna watch a whole song.
What's the sound moving through the ages? What's the sound turning over pages? Rock!
I will say this much. For an 80s band, they're not bad.
No, they're not bad. They're fine. They're very, Bon Jovi, like, who's the guys that do Panama? Like that type of like anthem rock. They're fine. It's generic.
Pretty sure it's Van Halen or Motley Crue.
Yeah, I don't know. But
80s.
It's super generic, but it's not bad. It's like, and they're just singing about like energy, rock and roll, rock. Like, it's like the most generic lyrics. It's whatever, but it's fine. But so they're playing, and we're watching them play this whole time. And the thing that drove me insane, I'm a drummer. I haven't played in a long time.
Oh, God.
I am a drummer.
You're ready to get Brian's fucking hoity-toityness.
I have not even hoity-toity. It's just it was so infuriating. And usually this stuff doesn't bother me, but it was so blatant in this. Holy shit! There's so many times where you see the drummer playing, and you can clear. And this is the real band, I think, right?
No one in that movie is playing their instrument except Thor.
We couldn't tell.
Yeah, no, I could tell.
Right, when he picks up the bass, he's actually playing the bass, right?
Yeah, okay.
No one else is playing their instrument. But, and this is the weird thing, like Jim's not playing the drums, but Jim is a bass player. He's a very good bass player. So if you know that, you're watching the movie, you're like, why didn't you just cast him as the bass player? Why you have him playing the drums like...
There's so many times where he's playing the ride cymbal, and clearly the hi-hat is being played in some... It's so not right. That's not right. This is the wrong thing. You're hitting the wrong thing. And then, at the end of the song, it just drove me insane. At the end of the song, and he's intentionally kind of shit, or like intentionally, like, he sucks, whatever. He's not been practicing, or he's being a shithead or something. At the end of the song, though, he's like, does the fill, and then after they hit the last note, he clangs the cymbal. He goes like, blang! Like, after the song's over, and his stick breaks. And they all start getting really mad.
Smooth move there, Wonder Wallaby. Hey, relax, guys.
And I'm like, why? Oh, they're mad at him because he sucks and he hit the note way after the song ended. That's not why they're mad.
Stig, we'll get you another one. Everybody take 5.
They're mad because he broke his stick.
Those break all the time.
It happens all the time! They're drumsticks, sorry.
But it just make that completely unusable.
It's not unusable. I'll make it work. It happens all the time. It was so annoying. I was like, drummers break sticks all the time. The problem isn't that he broke the stick. The problem is that he hit the fucking cymbal way after the song ended and it sounded terrible. But they're not mad about that. They're mad he broke his stick.
Which is not like they don't have a fucking huge supply of them.
They do. They go down and there's a box of them. That's so stupid. doing? That shit bothered me so. The drumming was in a movie with penis demons and all the other nonsense. The drumming bothered me the most in this thing.
Okay, let's talk about, because this is one of our first introductions
Yeah.
to the discount Jim Henson
Yes.
puppets.
Yes. Yeah. They're kind of great. And this, what is this? I don't get this. Okay. So they're all jamming, and the manager is drinking some coffee or something. And he sets his cup down, and a little penis demon thing. I mean, I don't know what else to call it.
Well, it just comes up and vomits into it.
And vomits jizz into this guy's coffee, and then he picks it up and drinks it. All right. And then, cut to, after the guy breaks his stick, the manager's like, I'll go downstairs and get some more drumsticks. Goes down to the bottom of the barn. You should go upstairs. And while he's down there, the drummer's girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Comes in and is like, hey, baby, you make me so hot. And out of nowhere...
You don't really expect me to believe that, do you?
Tits.
There's lots of tits in this movie, male and female. So we're going both ways on this one.
Equal opportunity.
Equal opportunity tits in this movie. Mm-hmm. And it's arguable that Thor's are nicer than anybody's. In this movie. But so she shows up, his girlfriend, or the drummer's girlfriend shows up, and it's like getting on him. He's like, hey, whoa, what are you doing? And then she's like, okay, I thought he was going to turn into a monster because, he drank like the monster jizz. So, but she becomes a monster and bites his neck open, and he's dead or gone. Well, he's not dead. He comes back, but and then they think he's dead, or like they can't find him. Okay.
Well, what's their solution when they can't find him?
We
can't find him anywhere down here. Let's go upstairs.
Hey, honey, let's go check upstairs.
Well, it sounded like the scream came from down here. You're right. Let's go upstairs.
I think that was intentional, like a joke, like a trip on like a riff on like scary movies where they just do dumb illogical stuff. But yeah, he's like, no, I heard him scream down here. You're right. Let's go upstairs. It's like, which is kind of funny, but I didn't understand. What was the point of the monster jizz if he doesn't become a monster? Did it make him super attractive to her? Why is she already a monster? Okay, she's a demon, all right, but then she's not the rest of the movie. Well, she is, but why did she become a demon? When did that happen? Has she been a demon the whole time? I don't understand. I never didn't get the narrative of what they're going for here. Did you get it?
No.
You're looking at me like I should be understanding this.
Well, no. You're trying to apply too much logic to this.
I know.
That's the problem.
I know. But I just couldn't I was like, well, what's the point of the jizz in the cup? It didn't do anything. All right, whatever. Anyway, so she chomps him, and then they're like, he probably just went into town to get drunk. And they all go to bed to have sex, right? Is that what happens?
I can't remember who she... I guess she plays the main... the Thor's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think that's Rusty Hamilton, the actress. She's a music producer, also Thor's wife.
Oh, in real life.
Also, a woman should never be named Rusty. That's just
a great name.
No.
It's not a great name for anybody, in my opinion.
The 80s are kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
I love when she walks away, like when she's like, I'll meet you inside. She gives him she does a cigarette kiss where she like blows him a kiss like she was smoking a cigarette. Was that a thing that exists? Like the thing people did? She's like, and I'm like, wait, what? She's not smoking? It's so very strange. Sorry, continue.
But like, she keeps on wanting, like, let's bone.
Yeah.
Let's bone.
Yeah.
Your singing's brought out the beast in me.
And he's like, no. I gotta focus. I'm married to the job. I gotta focus on my music.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, all right, so you've done music stuff.
Yeah.
It's a bit different with percussion, I know. But do you go about, like, how often do people write in freaking, do they start making music?
In fucking staff music?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know anybody who's ever started
especially
something
like an 80s rock band. My guess is he would like write out some chords and some
you,
lyrics.
You always play it phonetically, right?
Yeah, well, most of the time. And with that sort of thing, like if he's like coming up with just like if you're composing a symphony, yeah.
Which, by the way, it makes sense that he does it this way if you like from the I Am Thor documentary.
Yeah.
Because so often he's going on many locations where the rest of his band members can't come, so they get a guy on location. He gives him the sheet music and they just play it.
Huh? That's interesting.
I mean, once again, this watch I Am Thor. You'll be amazed on how much work this guy does.
Yeah, that's kind of
because he does everything from travel arrangements to divvying up pay to moving equipment. I mean, this guy is literally a one man
wrecking crew. He does it all.
It's insane.
Rehearse, lame brain. City soften your ears and your arms. In our last gig, he didn't even play the same song we were playing.
Then, so he finally does go inside, and they show him laying in a coffin with his girlfriend. Do you remember what?
Yeah, it was like a bed that was like folded,
like a double wide coffin with. And he's reading like a high school yearbook. It was very strange. It was everything in this movie is very strange, but I know what was going on there. And then so we get into like a bunch of different sex scenes. The keyboard player goes into the bass player's room, and he's like, I'm really tired. And she's like, well, we could just talk
for a while. Flock of seagulls.
Yeah, flock of seagulls. And he's like, I'm really tired.
I hate to admit it, but I'm really wiped out, Deans. I probably wouldn't be good company.
And she's like, well, I just want to sit and talk for a while. I was like, no, she wants your dick. She wants your dick in and around her. But it's so funny because they cut away to some of the other sex scenes and they cut back and he is just asleep. He just passed out. And I was like, well, he did say he was tired. But so there's the some people, the married couple are fucking in like a blue room that it's very Ben and Arthur reminiscent of that blue lighting. like they're just awkwardly rubbing their faces on each other. And then, so we just cut around, everybody's having sex. The drummer fucks his girlfriend with his sunglasses on because he's a cool drummer.
Well, yeah, and she's incredibly unsatisfied.
Yeah, she's just very clearly like...
As usual, babe. The best.
He goes to the bathroom, he's the next person to fall to the demon. He is possessed and becomes a fucking sex machine.
Yes. Well, but who was that girl that walks up to... Nobody, right? Okay, I was just making sure that wasn't like another actress from earlier that I didn't... Just some random blonde bombshell with her tits like shows up and is like... And like grabs him and turns him into a monster or something. I don't even remember, but it's crazy. So he gets possessed and he goes and fucks the shit out of his girlfriend. like crazy.
Oh boy. Stigma's being rare form tonight.
All right, Brian.
Mystery solved.
Brian.
Yeah.
The internet's a great thing. It proves us wrong on every step of the way. So the sorceress, seductress, is
who comes into the drummer.
That's actually Thor's wife. And at first, I honestly thought it was Tim Curry in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, God.
Because, my God, she is caked.
Yeah, she's got a lot of makeup on. Oh, the ketchup monster. She turns into the ketchup monster.
Oh.
With like this weird green thing with like red, it looks like ketchup in her mouth. And then she covers his mouth with it. And I was like, even she was tired of his shitty accent. Like, she was like, you gotta stop. Even this demon monster thing was. And then right after that, that's when the groupies show up, never to be seen or heard from again. So a bunch of groupies show up. It's just like 4 girls walk up to the house, and the manager's back.
Yeah, not Jeremy Piven.
Yeah, is back and not dead and just fine. But he's like a demon now. And he shows up, and they come in, and they're like, oh, we heard Triton's here. Woo, we want to party with Triton. And he's like, and he's being yeah, he's like, show me your tits. He's just being a dick to him.
Band will be down in about 20 minutes. So, let's whip out those breasts, girls.
What?
Those 4 girls were hired specifically to take their clothes off. Like
and then they don't.
I'm serious. Like, in the casting session, they were like, the whole point of this is you're groupies, you show up, you take your clothes off, you show your boobs, and then you get led into the basement and killed. Maybe you were supposed to see the killing. I don't know. But, like, it was supposed... Like, everyone thought it was clear, like, that's what they're there for. Yeah. But then the girls showed up on set, and they were like, what do you mean we have to take our tops off? And it was like, apparently, this fucking guy who did the casting, it was like seedy casting couch, old school guy who was just like, all right, girls, come in. We're going to do this audition for this movie. Just take your tops off. you don't have to do it in the movie. Just take your like whatever. You got these girls to take their tops off, and then they show up on set, and they're like, I thought we didn't have to take our tops. So,
and then he's basically like, and he tells them they gotta grind up the cocaine.
So you travel with the band and you grind the cocaine.
Okay, I'm not a big drug expert. Isn't cocaine come Doesn't cocaine come ground already?
Well, not if you freebase it.
I don't know what that means.
Really?
I mean, I know.
Okay, so what you do is you take your cocaine, right? Mix it up with some water and baking soda, and then you cook it off. All right, this is gonna make crack cocaine. Okay. It's very pure.
Right. I knew that.
Oh shit.
They show up and he's like, "Show me your tits," and they're like, "No." They're like, "No," and then he's like, "Go to the basement."
Now, let's go down to the basement.
And then we never see them again, right? They're just like, go to the basement. They walk out of the shot. Done. Never see them again. We don't need them anymore.
Are you sure this is the place?
What am I, a retard?
Okay, and then right after that, so the groupies disappear. We go into the kitchen and the married couple, the bass player, not the bass player, bass player,
yeah,
bass player and his wife, and they're in there, and I don't know what they're talking about, but he says something super gross. He's like, he walks into her. To me, it seemed gross. He walks in and he says something along the lines of, "Whenever I see you doing something real domestic, my boner can't help itself."
I thought you said you were going to help me, not yourself.
I'm sorry. Whenever I see you doing something so domestic, my boner can't help itself.
And I'm like, I don't like that. Whenever I see you washing dishes, it gets me so hard. I'm like, oh God, all right. It's a weird thing to say.
It's like his fucking daily porn rituals, like Andy Griffith's show or something.
Yeah. It's like those 50s housewives washing dishes really gets me going.
Oh, Mayberry, Mayberry, leave it to Beaver.
Yeah. Oh, and then they get monstered. The demon right after that, they get eaten by a monster who then turns off the music because he's like, I don't like this, and it goes over the radio and turns off the music.
Well, they do this like I think it's the Energy song.
Well, baby, I'll do it to you. You give me energy. Oh yeah, you do.
Yes, this is the next full song.
Well, once they're done is when they do the whole like, Stig, man, you really rocked it that time.
Stig, great work, man. Yeah, see, I told you this vacation would do us some good, huh?
Yeah, I feel like a changed man.
He's the most, again, I'm just real quick on the drumming. He's the most unnatural. If he's the real drummer in the band, or it was real, he's the most unnatural. He doesn't look like he knows how to play drums. It's so very strange to me watching this man in this movie. I had so many issues with him.
Well, after they get done with that session, that's when everybody goes, fuck party time.
No, that was before this. Well, at least according to my notes. Well, there's another. They fuck all the time. Yeah.
But this is where he takes her out
to the pond. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. Sorry. I thought it was the next day, but it might have been this. I don't know. Whatever. Yes, that's what I was talking about. They go to the pond, and I'm like, God, if I have to watch this chick suck his dick by a pond, I'm gonna be so upset.
Which I gotta say, this scene's pretty fucking dope.
It's kind of amazing. Because what happens is they are gonna have sex, but then he like hunches over, right, and like
he like rips his
chest open, and a
hand pops out.
Comes out of it. It's kind of great.
But like by the way, the hand's like getting super handsy grabby with her.
But the fun, I was really hoping, I was like, you know what'd be great is that what happens in this movie is that they're kind of a shitty band, and then as they all become possessed by demons, they become just a really kick-ass band and like tour the world and get really famous because like the drummer gets better after he like gets possessed by demons. So now his girlfriend is, I don't know what that scene with her earlier was. Maybe that was like a figment of the manager's imagination or something. But so now she is also possessed by a demon.
Yeah.
The guitar player and the keyboardist are hooking up finally.
Yeah.
And they're fucking. And during their sex scene,
I was
like,
boy,
man,
was that like super uncomfortable the entire time.
And I was like, 84% of the frame is just hair and body hair. Cause like she's got some fierce eyebrows, and this dude is just he's just covered in body hair, and it's just like, and her curly hair is everywhere. It's like there's so much hair going on. Yeah, it's super uncomfortable. And then we cut to Thor taking a shower with his lady.
About the shower scene, the interesting thing about that is they had to shoot it with cold water.
Ooh,
oh no,
man! Especially in Canada.
Because if they used hot water, it steams up the camera.
Yeah.
So if you go back watch that scene, the bit where he like steps into the shower and steps in front of her, he makes like the water hits him and he makes his face like.
I didn't notice that. Now I have to go back and watch it.
Like,
that explains why his pectorals were cutting glass.
Yeah, he was. Woof. And they're making out in the shower.
Now, whose
boobs win?
Yeah, whose boobs win?
Thor's. Thor's boobs win every time. I'll put that man's pecs up against anybody's. I'm gonna have to, for the first time ever, censor some of the male nipples up in this bitch. Because those things are pert and round and glorious. And my girlfriend was like, his eyeliner's gonna get everywhere in that shower. Because Thor is wearing a ton of eyeliner and they just get into the shower and start going at it. And we get some Thor butt, a little bit of top Thor butt. That's some good stuff. Like, I was like, man, we just watch everybody have sex for like 15 minutes. And I'm like, I never thought sex scenes could be so boring. Like, it just keeps going on and on. I'm like, I don't. All right, fine, we get it. Everybody's having sex.
Well, they get done. They wrap it up.
Yeah. But most importantly is one of the other couples, all of a sudden, guess who shows back up while they're like making out. The flock of seagulls and the keyboardists are making out. And they look out the door, and who is it?
Fucking Jesse D'Angelo.
Jesse D'Angelo is just standing in the hallway like, what you doing in there? And they're like, what the fuck?
Hey.
Hey, what?
It's just this little kid at the door.
A little kid? What? And then they like chase after him.
He books it, and then if you notice in the doorway, as he's booking it, there's somebody kneeling, and you can see their jeans. You can also see like an XLR cable running by. Yeah. So clearly that's where the sound guy was.
Yeah, he's like hiding in the And there's the music during this like hide and seek scene is so weird and awful. It's like this weird like bottle blowing like it's like this.
I don't see a kid. He was there a second ago, a little boy, just right.
But I do want to bring up the fucking music in that scene.
What was that?
You tell me, Brian.
I have notes about that music. I was like, this is awful.
I don't know anything about the post process. I'm not in the editing room, right?
Yeah.
I see the movie for the first time finished. We get to the part where I peek my head in the door and I'm about to turn into a werewolf. And what happens? And it's fucking Charlie Chan, stereotypical Chinese fucking music. And I'm just like, wait, that's my theme music? That's a theme music? Why?
It was like running through the house, and he runs outside, and clearly they can only do one shot of this because as he's running, he falls.
I didn't notice that.
Then he gets up and runs to the barn. In that scene where you're running to the barn, when you go down the flight of...
Where they kept the bit where I trip
you
and
ate it, yeah. That's what
Should we do
about.
take 2 of that?
No.
Fuck it. Let's use the first take.
It adds humanity that you fell. I feel like it's a nice little humanizing
But I'm
moment.
supposed to be a ghost or a demon, but I just trip.
Clumsy demon.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's in the barn and like goes down to the basement of the barn or something, and they follow him in there, and they walk over to him, and then but he's like hiding now or something, and this must have been dope. He turns into like a werewolf boy monster thing. I don't know, but he's like,
I guess Teen Wolf was big at the time.
Yeah, he's like this weird like demon dog kid thing.
So as we were making this movie, I thought we were making like a movie.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought it was gonna be a real movie.
Yeah.
You know, so there were certain scenes. There were certain scenes where like, yeah, and now you're gonna turn into a werewolf, Jesse, and we're gonna have bladders and appliances, and we're gonna do it just the same way they did in The Howling. The Howling.
Weird little demon monkey was the note I had.
All right, now, have you ever done makeup before?
No,
for stuff like
not
that.
at all.
That is, depending on what they use, that's probably like At minimum an hour.
Oh yeah,
maybe 2.
I would say it's probably more than that. Yeah,
it looks like between the 2 to 3 hour range of makeup. The werewolf makeup, that prosthetic and the costume. As an 8-year-old kid, how long did you have to wait for them to get all that stuff on you?
Did it take a long time?
It didn't take that long because it was just one piece. It wasn't like actual prosthetics where they put on the neck, they put on the chin. It was like one chunk of like hard rubber with like hard edges that they kind of just glued on. So it's like maybe an hour, maybe 2. I don't remember.
Yeah.
All I remember is that I loved it. There were all these great werewolf transformations right around that time, and werewolves have always been my favorite monster. So when they were like, Jesse, guess what? You can come to Canada with us and shoot this movie and look at a lot of tits and turn into a werewolf, or you could stay in New York and do your homework. So,
easy choice.
Me being a monster fan, I was like, when do I get to go in the makeup? And then they took it off. I was like, when do I get to put it back on?
But yeah, so then he gets them. Jesse kills her.
Oh, he wrecks the shit out of them.
Yeah, he turns the so now everybody basically, except for like Thor's girlfriend, Thor. But everybody else is like demon possessed now. And then Thor's sitting there with his girlfriend. He's like, man, we gotta work on our music, but everybody's just having sex all the time.
I mean, we are supposed to try and get something accomplished up here. How are we supposed to rehearse our new album and tour when everybody's running off trying to scratch a 7-year itch?
I'm like, motherfucker, you just fucked in the shower for like 30 minutes and now you're mad at everybody else for having sex? But he's like, I gotta go work on my new song. And this is the lead up, this is the finale where shit gets bonkers. I gotta get into this ending and try to figure out.
Let's get into it, Brian.
This ending.
Go balls deep.
I watched this last night for the second time, and it still made as little sense to me, and was still as surprising to me as the first time.
So Thor's girlfriend goes out to the bar and she gets taken out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Thor they need to pay homage to Coke a little bit more.
Yeah, he's writing his love song.
And Crush.
Coke, set it on, turn it, perfect.
What about when he opened the fridge and the fucking chicken had teeth?
Yeah, there's like a little demon chicken, like kind of awesome. But so he's writing his love song. He's just sitting there in the barn, and then man, it goes off the rip. Boys, strap in. It is.
Like the demon shows up as the girlfriend, saying like everybody's dead.
Yeah,
everybody's gone.
Yeah,
and he's just denial.
Yeah,
we have to stop pretending. The guys won't be coming back. They're dead.
And it gets to the point where he kind of like as a demon reveals his name or something like that.
Well, what happens is, he calls, Thor keeps calling him Bub.
Wasting my time, Bub.
Well, so it's the girl first.
Brother, is that a Canadian thing? Because Wolverine does that all the time.
Yeah, well, it is, but also it makes sense because eventually so it turns out, it's so hard to explain and get this straight. So it turns out that Thor's like, no, I know you're a demon.
I told you they were dead, and so
You're Beelzebub, and I think that's why he's calling him Bub, like Beelzebub. Maybe, I don't know, but it is also a thing. Anyway, so this demon is like, and he calls him like a bunch of different, like from like different, God, from like different cultures, like the devil, basically. Basically, it's like the devil, I think, is kind of the idea.
Or is it less familiar to call you Beelzebub? Or you prefer Abaddon? Or as the Hindus called you, Shaitan? Or as you were known to answer to Ahriman, Belial, Apollyon, Asmodeus.
And Thor is a fucking archangel.
I am Triton, the archangel.
Who created all of the people that were everybody else that was in the movie.
Yep.
He were figments of his brain. He created them, so none of them actually died.
Your band, your groupies. What of them?
Never here, Bub. Merely shadows I created to entertain your little friends. Juicy little souls to bring you out into the open.
They had character arcs to a degree.
Yeah.
They had conflicts.
Yeah.
They had personalities
to
a degree.
Yeah.
All that thrown out the wayside.
No, none of them existed He created them all just so he could fuck with this demon to get it to come out, basically, so that he, as an archangel, could vanquish it.
I am as baffled by it as you are. I've seen it about 1,000 times because I love it, as terrible as it is. And every time I get to, and it's just like,
yeah,
like
what?
Just characters I drew from horror movies.
First of all, it starts with one of the worst bits of dialogue ever, and especially in this. There's like, he's like, yes, I invented all these characters that I drew from horror movies.
Yeah,
and Devil says, like, horror movies? That's where I saw that nerdy bass player before. And then he delivers this fucking line.
Yes, and the one with the guy with the hockey mask.
Yeah. It was so... I was like, wait, what is happening now? I was so...
like,
it just took
you're
me
going to reference from Friday the 13th without actually referencing it.
Well, you know, trademark. What did he call himself? The Intercessor?
I am the Intercessor.
The Intercessors, the Intercessor, and yeah, Archangel, the Intercessor, and then there's also randomly more little penis monsters just hanging out with it, and one of them looks like Bernie Sanders.
Rise, my brethren.
The top 1%. We've got a national debt.
One of them's got the gray flyaway side hair. It's like little Bernie Sanders penis monster. So then it turns to big puppet Beelzebub.
Good lord.
Beelzebub puppet with like spindly arms, like.
So the one thing that this film was kind of that really, I would say, hurt this film. The one thing that makes it very memorable is the action scene here.
Yes, this is amazing. Well, yeah, the reveal of like, it's like, wait, what? And then the action scene, Thor rips all his clothes off, and he is oiled up, wearing a spiked metal bikini thing, and his hair is just fucking teased a million miles up, and he looks incredible, and he's just like, bro. And then he goes to fight this thing, and the little monsters are like, fuck this, and they like take off.
Well, the thing, by the way, this thing looks like something from like Alienator or something like that, with like crazy long arms.
It's like crazy, and it's got like its head is like bobbly, and its arms are like clearly on like sticks.
But of course, the first thing he wants to do is throw minions at him,
He
which are like
little
starfish.
Yeah, little like green starfish at him. But yeah, he's throwing these green starfish at him, and he grabs one, and he's like, bro, and just rips it apart. I was like, yes, because there's a lot where Thor's standing, I'm like, Thor's gonna flex him to death. Thor's just gonna flex this demon back to hell. He's just amazing. And then he throws the green, and then he like runs up and he grabs him, and there's like 3 minutes of back and forth shots of him just like wrestling with this demon thing while this badass music plays. And then it gets a little boring because it gets a little repetitive, but it's still amazing.
John Fasano puppeteered that thing himself, right? And he had to, because the opening was like at the waist, he had to be holding his arm up. Holding it up, right?
Yeah.
So he's holding his arm up, and off to the side, there's guys holding dowel rods controlling the arms.
Yeah, to make the arms.
And if you saw it on set, like, you see it in the movie, he's kind of moving around, but on set, like, he'd move it, and then it would start to tilt, and be like, whoa!
His eyes light up, Thor's eyes light up for a half second, and then he vanquishes him with the power of Pecs.
You win this time. This place is yours.
Or roadside flares.
And they light off some fireworks, some fountains underneath the demon. Victory. I wasn't ready for what happened at the end of this movie. I didn't understand what that scene was. Oh, so okay, so he did it. He vanquished Beelzebub. Woo! And he says something about "Till I see you again, old Scratch."
I'll see you again, old Scratch.
And apparently that's a saying. It means the devil or something. I don't know. Then we cut to a graveyard, and I don't. What is this? He's just talking. I'm like, wait, but those people that were with you weren't real. Who are you at a graveyard for?
We can't. I guess we kind of came to understand it was the family.
Family, probably. Yeah. I guess. Why did he go to the cemetery? What's that about?
Okay, I'm as confused as you are, but I think I have an answer.
Okay.
The cemetery bit. He's like, I have now avenged your deaths. That was supposed to be me and my mother and father died at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. And that scene, like, if you'll notice, wasn't very well lit.
No.
I think it literally was like Fasano, Thor, and the DP. They were like, we got to get this shot. Fuck it, just go shoot it. We don't have enough light. Fuck it, just shoot it. We gotta go.
And then it just cuts to a random house and shows like 3 shots of an exterior of a house, and then the movie ends. And I'm like, what was that house? Why? And I guess the idea is like, that's where it's gonna happen next time. It could be in your neighborhood. This looks just like your house, doesn't it? Scary movie end.
The shit that comes after, where it's panning down the street.
Yes.
And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense either. It's like, and it was explained to me like, look, it's insinuating like, look, another house in suburbia. This could be happening there. This could be happening anywhere.
In your house. Yeah. Rock and Roll Nightmare. I don't even. It's fucking crazy. It's kind of great though. I kind of love it. Like, it's super sincere.
Much like Neil Breen in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Everything about this is very on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's less. At least with them, they weren't going for a message.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
This is like that perfect level of 80s camp.
Yeah, yeah. It gets a little tedious and boring at times because it's just drawn out a little bit, and there's some times it's like you could cut this scene half. But overall, it's fun.
The last 10 minutes of this movie alone
are just insanity. It's just pure bonkers. Like when you hit that twist of like, none of these people were real. I'm the intercessor archangel. I'm like, what? What? What is going on? But yeah, it's kind of great. It's super sincere. There's no preachy message. They're not telling people to go out and overthrow their government or anything. They made a sweet rock and roll movie when they fought some demons. The guy showed off his pecs. We saw some boobs. There was blood. There was gore. Everybody had a good time. I kind of love this movie, and I bet it was a fucking blast. It's kind of great. I would give it a good bad. It's getting a good bad.
It's fun. It's fun good bad.
It's fun good bad. It's one of those fun movies you can just watch, and the actors are over the top and bad, a lot of them, but like they're all bad in a good fun way, and it's silly and ridiculous, and yeah, it's good. It's good bad. It's a good bad movie. It's Rock and Roll Nightmare, or The Edge of the Devil.
Yeah.
Evil? Whatever.
I want to just plug Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
I've grown up with this, and as far as I'm concerned, it's my favorite bad movie, and I think it deserves as much cult recognition as like Troll 2, and anybody who watches movies like that, or My Connection, or Neil Breen movies, like any of those people, they're gonna like this movie. Like this is up there. So
yeah, it's good.
Like spread the word.
Oh yeah.
Fucking. Yeah.
It's on Amazon. You can watch it on Amazon Instant. That's where I watched it.
If anyone's interested in watching a short film I finished last year called The Adventures of Horse Hogg, that's on YouTube. Cool. You can look it up and give it a like and subscribe if you want.
Brian and I have both seen it.
Yes.
It is
it's
wildly entertaining.
It is good fun.
It is like that perfect gritty 80s badass, but some... it's joked about. It's great. I love it.
Good riff on that.
It's basically a parody of like Over the Top and Roadhouse.
Yeah, it's great. Great.